My name is Michael DeLu, and if you're a fan of basketball just like myself, if you're a fan of the NBA, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and join the Pull Up the Tape community. You see what's on my fucking chest. Join the Pull Up the Tape community. It only takes a couple seconds, and it helps me tremendously in being able to take steps towards my long-term goals. With that being said, let's get right into it. Another first-round matchup concludes. The Boston Celtics beat the the Atlanta Hawks 128-120 to close out the series, and they win that series 4-2. First and foremost, I want to say this was a great team win. The Boston Celtics showed a lot of fight, a lot of championship spirit because, they fumbled Game 5 on their home court, and a lot of people were critical of them because I felt like, they essentially choked that game away. And this time around, it was a close game. But then the Celtics put their fucking foot on the Hawks' necks. It was a close game until the Celtics went on an 18-7 run to close the game. And defensively, they were fucking locked in. There was a specific point and a play where the Hawks were trying to inbound the ball. They tried 4 different times, and they were unsuccessful. And then eventually, they turned the fucking ball over. Boston hit 18 threes. I repeat, 18 threes. And one of those 18 threes was a very timely shot by Al Horford, who had, played majority of his career in Atlanta, but then, assisted in being able to put them out. And Al Horford hit timely shots to put the Hawks away. And, the Celtics had a lot of their role players step up. Al Horford stepped up. Marcus Smart stepped up. Malcolm Brogdon stepped up. Grant Williams stepped up. Robert Williams stepped up. But most importantly, man, the NBA is the one sport. In professional basketball is the one sport where one player has the ability and the moxie to necessarily decide a game. And Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, once again, they showed and proved why the fuck they make big bucks. Like it was so evident why these dudes are max contract players. Jaylen Brown had 32 points, 5 rebounds, and he was 6 of 8 from 3. This is his third 30-point game in a fucking row. I repeat, this is his third 30-point game in a row. When I say this man is hooping, he's really hooping. Like, he had a great finals against the Warriors, and then he's just, picking up where he left off in terms of in the playoffs. He's just balling. And, he's from Atlanta. He's from the Atlanta area, so every time he plays the Hawks, man, he's going to show out in front of his friends, in front of his family. Jayson Tatum, you know what the fuck you're going to get from Jayson Tatum. Jayson Tatum had 30 points. It's one of the best games I've ever seen him play. He had 30 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. And the Celtics are 22-1 when Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum both go for over 30 each. They are 22-1. So they have done that 23 times in their careers where both of them have went over 30 points each. And in those games, the Celtics are 22-1. Come on now. When they're locked in and they're loaded and they're ready to go and they're locked in offensively, defensively, because you got to remember, both these dudes are also, along with being elite scorers, both these dudes are some of the most complete players in the NFL. They're elite two-way players. Gives you a lot of, they're the closest tandem that we've ever seen to modern day Jordan and Pippen. Because look at these dudes. Look at these dudes prototype, their body type. Jaylen Brown 6'6", Michael Jordan 6'6", Scottie Pippen 6'8", Jayson Tatum 6'8". I mean, both these dudes are elite two-way wings, man. I mean, they get the job done on both ends of the floor. They put the ball in. They get the job done on both ends of the floor, and you can rely on them night in and night out. Marcus Smart, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Good to see him close off the game because he got pulled. He wasn't playing the most consistent, but he finished off the game. Also hit, a timely 3 that assisted in the Celtics being able to put their fucking foot on the Hawks' throats. Malcolm Brogdon, 17 points, 4 assists. And now, after closing out this series, Man, it's quite obvious, man. It's quite obvious. I had told my dad this earlier this week. The Celtics are going back to the finals. The Celtics are going back to the finals. No questions asked. Celtics are going back to the finals. They are now the favorites to come out the East. And they also, not only are the favorites to come out the East, they now have home court advantage all the way up until the finals, depending on who they match up with in the finals. Because the Bucks got bounced. The Celtics are a better team than the Sixers. Celtics are better than the Heat. Celtics are better than the Knicks. Celtics should make the NBA Finals again. And honestly, this time I think they'll win. Honestly, depending on who they play, I think the Celtics will win. Trae Young. Talk about Trae Young real quick. Trae Young had 30 points, 10 assists. I honestly think the Hawks would have won this game if not for the fact that Trae Young, if Trae Young would have shot better and played better in the second half. Trae Young was 1 of 13 in the second half. That's fucking brutal. And truthfully, as the star player and the best player on the team, they need more from you, man. They need more from you. That's not good enough. That's bad. That's not good enough, and that's terrible. DeAndre Hunter had 20 points, 6 rebounds. John Collins, 16 points, 4 rebounds. DeJounte Murray, very, very disappointing. He had 14 points. Wasn't aggressive. Wasn't looking at. Now I wouldn't say he wasn't looking to get his shot, but he wasn't doing what he does best, which is score the ball. He had 11 assists, though, so he got his teammates involved. Bogdan Bogdanovic, 12 points. I mean, overall, the Hawks put up a valiant fight. They tried their very best not to get closed out on their home court, but unfortunately, the better team won the series. It is what it is. I mean, credit to the Hawks for making this series even as competitive as it was, because truthfully, the Hawks are not nearly as good of a team as the Celtics are. Truthfully, just is what it is, to be honest. And credit to them, but their season is now over. They're going to stay at home. The Celtics advance. I mean, and honestly, it is what it is. I mean, it was an entertaining first round series for the most part. But again, the better team won. It is what it is. And, we'll see what happens with Trae Young in the offseason. Is he still going to remain an Atlanta Hawk? Does he get traded? What's going to happen moving forward with that? But my name is Michael DeLu. If you're a fan of the NBA just like myself, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, join the Pull to Take community. And with that being said, I am out this bitch.